happen. That's what I was saying to Nam earlier. That basically, what I was saying is, a lot of us are in the owner's corner of our lives. Assuming our lives were a car, a lot of us are in the owner's corner. Where should we be? We should be in the driver's seat. When we graduate, because of our environment, what we are really thinking about is a job. Am I right? A job, making income, making money. It's only when people haven't found a job after a while that they think of being entrepreneurs. But you know, you can have a job and still be an entrepreneur. As Salamide will say, bread and butter money. Something that comes in trickles. But do you think everybody does that? Do you think everybody has those goals for themselves? You know, we assume things will automatically fall in place. Unfortunately, a lot of us realize, not too late in life, thank God, that things don't just fall in place. Somehow, there is a plan. Somehow, there is a goal. Now, when you look at somebody like Daddy Gio apparently had a lot of goals. He did not want to be ordinary. When he was very young, you know, and he saw something he appreciated, he would claim it and say, when I'm that age, I want to have done this. You know, when somebody comes to his village with a brand new car and there's fanfare and all that, he would say, you know, one day I will come back to this village and people will celebrate me. But a lot of us we don't have that. Maybe because they told us, don't be proud, you know, humble yourself. So we are all in our own little corner, we don't reach out. We don't think that we could be anybody. I'm sure I'm not talking to everybody now. But for some of us that are thinking like that, look, let me just maintain my own little box, my own little corner, and let things fall in place. When I graduate, I get a job, I'll get married, I have children. You wake up, you're almost 40, and you find out, where has life gone? If you're not thinking about your future, if you're not thinking about your goals, you end up living somebody else's dream. Do you agree with me? If you get into an elevator, for example, you know the elevator will move, even if you don't press a button. Do you know why? Somebody else on the 10th floor wants to get in. So the person presses the elevator, you are in it. Will the elevator take you up or not? But was it your plan? You went to the 10th floor not because you wanted. Now if you get to the 10th floor and you see something you like, you can come out. You're out on the 10th floor but you didn't do anything. You didn't press the button. You didn't decide to be on the 10th floor. You found yourself there. So if you get back in the elevator and somebody's going to the 2nd floor, what will happen? So why don't you go say, okay, I'm going to start building, I want to get to the 20th floor, and you go into the elevator, press your 20th floor and be on your way. You know, when you have these goals, when you have these plans, when you have a vision for yourself, things begin to fall in place. But they don't fall in place if you don't have a vision. Sometimes they walk past you. As people will say, they can bite you and you don't see it. For example, somebody gave an example of asking somebody, what kind of car would you like? And the person said, a purple Golf or thereabouts. And he went, purple? How can somebody want a purple car? Would you believe when he left that place, he started seeing purple cars all over the place? Why? Because in his mind is now open to purple cars. Purple cars seem strange. When a guy is not ready to get married, even if the best girls come by, would you notice? The most he can do is make them girlfriends and then move on because he's not ready. But when he's ready, he's not noticing how they talk, how they walk, what they do, because it's now, am I making sense? Help me. If you're looking for a business, if you sell things, and somebody walks by you and says, oh, I'm going to Dubai, or let's say you haven't even started selling anything, and somebody says, oh, I have this to sell, it won't register. Registering in your mind means that you have a plan, you have a goal, you have an expectation, your mind, your peripheral vision is fixed on something. That's when you notice things that are lying. So when you hear somebody saying, oh, I have a friend in the Bulgarian embassy, and you wanted to buy something in Bulgaria, would it click or not? But if you never thought about it, never had plans of being in Bulgaria, even if the person said, my uncle, the person I live with, is the person that decides who comes into this city, would would it make any difference? Some of us are, thinking or we're expecting that if I do this, that everybody expects of me, then I should expect a result. But what about the things you expect of yourself? You know, I'm emphasizing this because I found it out in my own life, and I found that in a lot of my friends. We just assume it's going to happen. There's a spirit, soul, and body. A man is tripartite. Do we agree? Yes. So if you're going to set goals for yourself, you need to set goals in these three aspects. And they are not mutually exclusive. That means you can succeed in your business and still succeed what? In your family. You can succeed in your family and then succeed as a Christian. We are Christians, right? You can succeed in those areas. Now, setting goals. Money is not a consideration in goal setting. It sounds like it. But ask the people that say they're nobody. Ask them if money was a consideration when they were determining what to do. Money might be a tool to get there, but it's not a consideration in setting your own goals. What do you think should be the consideration? Can anybody help? What should be a consideration when you want to set a goal for yourself, a vision for your future? Where do you think you should be in 5 years' time? Where do you think you should be in 10 years' time? What kind of wife do you want to be? What kind of mother do you want to be? What kind of business owner do you want to be? What kind of company do you want to run? Should money be a consideration now? So what should be a consideration? Your passion, fantastic. Ideas, interests, your mindset, your determination, fantastic. So we need to take time out. Take a seat somewhere. Because we are Christians, we have the help of the Holy Spirit. You know, it's supposed to teach us all things. It's supposed to help us in all things. So we need to really take time out. This is important because if you don't know where you're going, how will you get there? How would you know you're on the way? So take time out, discover yourself. They don't teach us these things in university. They don't teach us in secondary school. We are supposed to do what the lecturer says, you know, and do all that. When we get the independence, what we do is just to relax. And then when we have a job, we are incubated in the job, sort of. We live in the job. So we don't think of any other thing. It's when the job now wants to lay off that people start shaking. What am I going to do with my life? Take time out, please. If you don't live with anything today, take time out and reflect. Consider yourself. Who am I? Where am I going? What do I think I should be doing? What are my passions? What are my skills? What are these talents that I have? What comes naturally to me? Somebody once told me that anything that really, really annoys you, maybe you were there to fix it. That means you are seeing a better way of doing it. Put all those things together with the help of the Holy Spirit. And then you need to map a way. How do I get there? If I want to be a business owner, if I want to be the MD of Shell, how do I get there? If you want to be an MD of Shell, you know that when they open up a job advert for the MD of TFC, you know you won't go there. Why? You have a plan. You know? A lot of us that we graduated with degrees we may not have liked. Either we did it because of our parents or we did it because of jam. You know? A lot of people end up in a course and they say you transfer in 200 level. And it never happened. It's when you get in there that you remember that they will tell you nobody ever leaves this department. Am I talking to anybody? So you are stuck. So you now have a degree that you don't like. You think it's too late for you to go back in and get the degree you actually want. So when they ask you what kind of job do you want, what do you hear? Anyone. Anything. And then, you know, banks help us with that. They give anybody a job. Telecoms help us with that. They give anybody a job. Just enter inside customer care. Am I lying? But you can wait 1 year to get the kind of job you want instead of going in right now. It doesn't sound palatable. But if you've discovered your goal, discovered where you're going, you can take sacrifices. When you find out, okay, this is where I'm going, then you need to map a way. To be this, I need this qualification, I need that qualification. To do this, I need to be here, I need to do this. Now, your decision making should now align towards your goal. For example, if you want to serve, maybe in your church or something, you want to, that's what you want to do. You really shouldn't be dating like a Buddhist right now. Do you agree? Because that would affect the plan. Am I making sense? If that's what you want to do, you want to serve, you want to have children, So you shouldn't marry somebody that's telling you now, I don't want children. Right? Is that true? But what will happen? There will be conflict along the line. But if you don't even know if you want children or not, so if somebody says they don't want children, then it's fine for now. You might change your mind later. But if you know what you want now, then it is easy to take decisions that would align. Each day, you should move closer to your goal. Now, this sounds strange. How do I? Because a lot of us feel helpless. I want to get married now, so what do I do towards my goal? You can find a mentor, somebody that you appreciate, somebody you appreciate their life, the kind of life they live with their husband, and then just learn some things. Because it will happen. Who is saying amen? Yeah. It will happen, but woe betide you when it happens and you're not ready. You don't even know what goes on behind the scenes, after I do. So you learn it, take a step closer. So that the gaps, your learning curve after you move in won't be as steep as somebody that just went in, and rose blinded. If you want to get a job, ask, what happens in this kind of environment? When people tell me, I need a job in your organization, and they say anything, I say no, you can't do anything because you will be frustrated. Sometimes you get to work at 8. Some of us leave after 11 at night. What if you're doing something you didn't like? You'll be of no use to yourself and then you'll be cranky to other people. Always complain. The only thing that will keep you there is the 25th, your salary. That will be the only thing that will keep you on that job. Time is inevitable. Time flies. Whether you do anything now or you don't do anything now, time will go. Whether you make a decision towards your goal or you don't make a decision towards your goal, 5 years will come, 10 years will come. You can be doing good things, but you're not doing the right thing. You can be doing a lot of good things, but you're not doing anything towards a particular goal. It's an activity. They say people that are sleeping, they're active, they throw a fist there, fling a foot there, but they're not making any progress. The only reason why you can say something is progress, because progress is relative. Progress has to do with a target. So I can be running around. I'm counting miles, my pedometer is counting, I'm shedding weight, but I'm not going anywhere. And before you can say you're going anywhere, you have to have a goal. And don't be helpless. There is no goal that doesn't have actions. There is no goal that doesn't have a series of steps that you take to get there. Definitely the God factor, we said it before. It is God that gives you the grace for your plans to succeed. Psalm 37 verse 5. Commit thy way unto the Lord, trust also in him, and it shall bring it to pass. So we have that guarantee that God will help us bring those things to pass. But we also have to think. We have to sit down and reflect. We have to know what it is we want. Don't let your current financial challenge be that only constraint or the only thing that pushes you to make a decision. Because if you intend to be this, and then because of your current situation, you flow this way, you'll be frustrated. You're allowed to change your mind because we all evolve. Our passions change, our desires change, but there's some core things. There's some core wants, there's some core desires that we need. For example, if you say, I don't know my passion, I don't know my goal, Genesis helps us with that. Because what was the instruction God gave man and woman? Who can help you? Yeah? Okay, can you say it again? Be fruitful, multiply, replenish the earth, have dominion, subdue it. So if you haven't developed your own personal plan, you can use those. Be fruitful. In your spirit, how can you be fruitful? In your soul, how can you be fruitful? In your body, how can you be fruitful? It's an assignment that you have to be fruitful. So how do I get there? Have dominion. How can I have dominion? In this job I want to take, in this life that I'm living, how can I have dominion? Subdue the earth, replenish it. That means multiply, expand. Are we making any sense? We need to consider it. I went for an interview those days I was searching for a job. I went for an interview and some things had happened that made me stick out. Not necessarily good things, but ended up being a good thing because I now stood out. I had missed, apparently the test was a mess. It's a mess. Those tests that they put in the newspaper and it's an all company, so the whole of Lagos was there. There were about 1 million of us in this. So I got there about 8 a.m. or 7 a.m. and I ended up doing my test about 6:30 at night. So by that time, you know, so I sat somewhere and the vigilator came and said, you get up. Meanwhile, I told everybody, don't be too close together. And somebody now came to sit beside me. So I was begging the person, boy, leave this place. Leave this place, you know. Leave this place. But he stood there, and when the vigilator came, I was one they chased from there. So apparently people had seen it, so they started clapping. So I was, I was giving, I was moody, but they were clapping. So the vigilators noted me. When I didn't know I passed the test, because I felt ill after, the kind of stress, but So I felt ill, and I didn't know the interview had passed. There was no GSM then, so nobody could text me and say, did you see your results? In short, I went there and I said, oh, get out of here. What do you mean? Your test was yesterday. You were the first woman. You missed it. In short, I got there at 12 noon, the day of the interview. I came back in. They allowed me to come back in at 11 at night. Meanwhile, I didn't have a car. Story. So I went back in at 11 and I explained myself. Look, I'm so sorry. I didn't know I had passed the test. Blah, blah, blah. And they were impressed. But the man said something that day, which is the crux of this matter. The next set of interviews we're going to do, he just got angry and came out and said, look, I don't know what's going on with Nigerians. American. There's somebody here that was the head of this class. I didn't know that. There was somebody here that had been doing this in short. Nigerians were not selling themselves. You know, you go to an interview and you say, yes, what's your name? What did you do? Answer. What do you want to answer? But some other person will go in, my name is Ms.Bolanle Olufolake Opeyokun. I have an EMBA, I'm a civil engineer, I'm a project manager, I'm deployed, but big difference. You know, they tell us when we're young, be humble. Be humble, be humble. Yes, be humble. But have your desires. Have your personal goals. If Daddy Joe sees an opportunity, he takes it. Learn from him. Learn from him. Take it. Nobody will know you were the head of your class if you didn't tell them. If you don't open your mouth to say, yes, I was head of the class, I think I can do this.